Discerning Your Distinctions. December 11, 2014. Beautiful bright hearts, you know what opposites are: good from bad, beautiful from homely, night to day, etc. You find yourselves each day bombarded by things that you judge regardless if you are stimulated by what is on your television or what pops up in your mind. It has become commonplace to categorize people and things depending on the comparison or judgment you make. In some places that you occupy, perhaps school, the workplace, or similar places, have rules and regulations against making judgments against others. In such places, you are encouraged to accept your differences, to look for what is similar, as no one is better or worse than anyone. In these places you are urged to become flexible. Beautiful bright hearts, it's vitally important to understand the seriousness of what judgment is and does. Judgment creates a polarization effect. Have you ever took the time to ponder why many places such as the place you work, schools, sports teams, and other organizations have moved away from judgment? It is too easy to condemn another dear soul, to badmouth what you find distasteful, to stereotype or segregate yourself from others from previous conditioned prejudices. The labeling you do is because of the judgments you apply. It is understanding that you need to distinguish yourself, to know what is different, but it is knowing what is similar that makes all the difference. It is what is meant to bring you together, not further apart. It's important to be able to determine what you think is right or wrong, good or bad, and sometimes discerning can be a difficult challenge. And yet, the truth of the matter here, dearest beautiful hearts, is that before you start comparing yourself with another, try to keep in mind that some people are just better than others at certain things. Not everyone is meant to be a talented tennis player, or a great artist, or anything else that can be considered. But you can enjoy playing tennis regardless of your skill. You can enjoy participating in creative work that is artistic in nature. You can do so many things with the ability that you already have, making it possible to hone and become better or be happy how it is. Hurting another dear soul for having a talent or from spending long hours working on the development of one is not something that comes from the heart, it comes from the ego. Because of the huge demand of people in the schools, workplace, and other organizations to become more accepting of others, many dear souls feel pressured, and this feeling turns into stress, and the focus of the job, or the task or objective of any goal becomes lessened as everyone is too busy trying not to step on any toes. What often occurs, dear ones, is that children often grow up with little to no discipline, insensitive behavior is overlooked, and any form of vandalism or damage to buildings and so on is accepted. Employees can become untidy with their efforts and possibly unmotivated if they have nothing to compare themselves to in order to establish what is good compared to what is mediocre. Such deterioration, beautiful bright hearts, is becoming known in many areas that you occupy due to the absence of making distinctions from others, due to the fear of possibly upsetting someone or possibly offending another by choosing not to include them. So what do you do if you're not supposed to judge, but you still need to determine what is right to what is wrong and so forth? Well, dear ones, you learn to discern. Discernment may appear a lot like judgment, but the difference between these two approaches to how you define those around you is significantly different. First, understand what judgment is. It is an opinion, a criticism or contempt, and is used as a form of power to compare or decide. Judgment feeds the hungry ego, and when you judge another dear soul, you are passing a determining sentence. How many of you know what it feels like to be judged wrongfully? It does hurt. It stings worse than someone pulling sticky tape off your arm, and the feeling of this hurt doesn't go away quickly. It has staying power that can last years and cause much damage in the meantime. Now, when we speak of discernment, you are using a more personal and conscious approach to how you view the world and those around you. When you discern, you are making use of your cognitive abilities to distinguish what is appropriate compared to what is inappropriate. When you use discernment, you are making choices that are amiable for you and for others. When you discern, you are not clouded by emotional reactions, you are seeing clearly beyond the separateness and seeing into the trueness of the person. When you discern, you are tapping into something much deeper than what is past when you judge another through egoic perception. Beautiful bright hearts, what you tend to judge primarily comes from something that caused a reaction from you. When you discern, you are putting your judgmental mind to rest, bringing yourself to a place of calm. It is not easy when you mingle every day with a wide variety of individuals that are different from you in many ways. It is important to comprehend that many of your reactions and heated responses comes directly from fear, possible jealousy, ignorance, and any insecurities you haven't yet examined or admitted to having. If you were more confident with your ability to speak with grace and tact, you would most likely spend less time criticizing others for their differences. You would spend more time appreciating their sameness. Making the effort to understand, despite any differences, will help you to see that goodness lives in every person of every culture, and in every person is the capacity to love, to forgive, to be at peace with themselves and the rest of the world. When you make use of the power to discern, you are demonstrating understanding for yourself as well as for others. You discover compassion plays a huge role. It opens doors to suffering, pain, and loss you would not have normally witnessed if you stayed within the constricting walls the judgmental ego often imprisons you in. As a result, your human, loving side is revealed. Seeing suffering in others brings about humbleness and appreciation, and encourages your need and want to help bring change no matter the size that would be supportive, good, and less painful to the world. And you do this best, dear ones, by bringing positive change to your own life and ways. When you are working within the powers of discernment, you are able to recognize God as a masterful artist, dotting your view with a majestic landscape of colors and vibrancy of life for you to discover and embrace. Negative people always put people down. You know this, as many of you have felt the sting of their worded assault. Anger carries negative energy. It is not healthy for the one who is giving the lashing, and it's definitely not healthy for the one receiving it. In such instances that demonstrate negativity and hostility, you are given the choice to not label this person who is being offensive with their use of words and anger as being bad. You know this kind of person is not good for you, so you use this experience as something to learn from and how to use clear perception to avoid getting into such circumstances, and by not wanting to be better or worse than anyone. Becoming more aware of those around you, being more thoughtful and mindful, does have its payoffs. Beautiful bright hearts. Discerning everyday good choices and right actions speaks of a profound, inner knowing of the heart. To get to this point, dear ones, it is up to you to learn how to quiet your busy mind so you can discern what is real to what is unreal. To be able to make distinctions to what you already attribute to, such as what is thought as being right or wrong, what is painful to what is pleasant, knowing these feelings are not the true nature of what is. It is the inner essence or inner energy of all things that the Spirit of God inhabits, and it is this very divine nature that constitutes your true nature of being. To deepen your awareness, you are encouraged to make time to meditate or to pray. To permit yourself to go beyond your mind's tendency to comment, to analyze, and to judge. Judgment doesn't serve you well in any form of meditation, but discernment does. When you make use of discernment instead of being judgmental, you are bringing clarity and true perception into play, where judgments only serve the illusions of your busy mind. It is for the betterment of your growth and development in all areas of your life that help to cultivate your ability to look beyond the actions and attitudes of others, and discern from the heart and see the unchanging universe within each beautiful soul. Remember, beautiful bright hearts, it is your sameness that will join you so you can build understanding to what is different. Can you change your views? Of course you can, but first you must look within yourself and determine without judgment, and discern what it is that needs the most change, and begin there. Each of you are gifts to the world, bestowed by God. Be the gifts you are, be in the present, and love one another just as you are, just as they are, just as God loves you. And so it is. I'm Ascended Master, Lady Nada, through Julie Miller. SpiritualNetworks.com